Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For people who are new here, I'm Saskia Smit and I love fluid art, and recently I started doing more resin. So today we are going to make the word love and a tray, and I'm now just giving you a quick overview from everything that I used. There are also links to products to everything under my video. So please, if you are looking for something, look under my video in the description box. There you see some rose petals. All the flowers are real dried flowers, so they're very delicate to work with. And you see some colors that I used. Well, first we are going to start mixing resin. I'm using Let's Resin casting resin. We need equal parts from part A and part B. You see me measuring now, and the reason I'm putting my cup down all the time is to see if I have actually enough, and it needs to be level to see if I fill it right. So I mixed 50 milliliters of part A and 50 milliliters of part B. I'm going to stir that now for about 5 minutes, and I scrape the bottom, I scrape the sides, and now you see me dividing it into 3 cups because I don't want a flash cure to happen, and that's something that can happen if there's too much resin in your cup. And I'm just taking precautions and to be safe, so I divide it in small parts. First we are going to put a thin layer in this mold. As you can see, it's mirrored, so it's the word love, but you see it in mirror now. And now the layer is in. I'm using a silicone stick to spread it and to remove some air bubbles. But I must say I'm very impressed with this resin, because by the time you're done working, most air bubbles are gone. But I just love that little silicone sticks because you don't have to worry about damaging your mold. And I'm using a little bit of hot air from the heat gun also to remove the air bubbles. Here you see a little butterfly sticker that I'm cutting out. There's also a link to that stickers below the video. And all other small items that I'm using. I put it on top, but of course it's possible that there are air bubbles underneath. So you see me now trying to slide it under the resin without making air bubbles. And I was using a toothpick, which is not smart because a toothpick can damage your mold. And now I switch to my silicone stirring stick again. Here you see a real dried leaf. The bottom is white, and I want the white to show in my love word, so that's why I'm putting the white side down. So this means that everything that we put in there, we have to put it in there upside down, because the bottom is what's going to show for us when we are done. And here's a pretty daisy. I have also links to that dried flowers and leaves below the video if you are looking for them, but you can also perfectly dry them yourself, of course. And I just love working with those dried flowers. It's so much fun. And I'm speeding this up because I have actually been working on this. This was a video of 50 minutes, and I don't want to show you 50 minutes of me putting all kinds of stuff in there, of course. So I have to speed up some parts. But I'm happy to mention that the Let's Resin casting resin starts curing after 20 minutes. But I was able to keep working to around 50 minutes, but then I noticed it was getting thicker. But well, yeah, I'm really impressed with this resin. It's every time I used it, it's flawless. And it's just really easy to work with, especially because you just measure equal parts. So it's 50 and 50 milliliters of part A and B, or 100 and 100, or whatever. Just equal parts of resin and mix that up. It's so easy. And here you see some, yeah, it's colored, I think colored rocks. It's gold. And I'm not using much of it, and they are pretty heavy, so I know they will sink to the bottom. And here I have a couple of rose petals that I just crushed in my hands. They were very crispy, so easy to crush them in little pieces. And I really love that because I love the color, and especially in this color combination. Yeah, I really loved it. And I put this on Instagram, and within 10 minutes this piece was sold. So there was someone who immediately thought she loved this so much, and after that I got more people asking for it, but yeah, it was gone already. So yeah, this is apparently something that people love very much. Oh, here is something that I'm showing you. This is going wrong because I was touching this flower and the petals would bend, and it was a mess. So I thought, well, I will try to detangle those petals again, and I didn't expect the flower to survive. But a wonder happened, and I could put it back in there the right way this time. So yeah, it's so delicate to work with. Sometimes it's a little bit hard, but I must admit I like it. I like working on small pieces. And now we continue just using all those flowers. My color theme is salmon pink, pink and black. But you will see later how I will incorporate that. There you see a little cute butterfly. This flower didn't fit, so I cut it in half, and I think that's also really cute to see. So just adjust something if you want it to fit in your mold. And now we're almost done. There's a little cute butterfly again, another sticker. And I think it's fun to put those little butterfly stickers in between the dried flowers. It looks so cute. So winter is coming for us, and now I have to think of a way how I'm going to heat my room without going bankrupt. Because our heat and gas is so expensive these days. But I will figure something out, of course. Here are some pearls that I was using. I got them from Temu. And I will see if I can find a link for those pearls as well for you. But if not, just go to Temu and search for pearls, beads and pearls or something like that, and you will find them. And that's just, yeah, that little extra cuteness, I think, to this love word. So now we are going to add a little bit of holographic glitter. There's a link under my video also for that. And I think it's so beautiful. I'm just using a tiny little bit. I will mix something in this little cup. You don't need much at all. And I even have some left over, and I'm using that in another mold. I always have another mold, standby, because if I have leftover resin, I have something to put it in. I don't want to waste resin and just throw it away. and that glitter isn't looking like much now, but it looks so beautiful in that mold. You will see that later in the finished results. And I will just put little drops here and there. You don't want to overflow it with glitter because it's cute, but you don't want glitter all over this piece. Just little parts. So there we go. And after I finish this, we will let it dry until the next day. But first I'm going to use my leftover resin in another mold. And now you can see that the resin is really starting to thicken up. Yeah, we're 50 minutes ahead, so that's not strange. Actually, it's very good, because it was really, maybe because my temperatures are not too high. I'm in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands, it's autumn, we have rain and not that much sunshine anymore, so yeah, I think it's about 21 degrees Celsius. So there goes the rest of the leftover resin, and then I decided I wanted to put a sticker on top of this, and you will see that in a minute. Now I'm dividing that glitter a little bit. There it is. It's a little perfume bottle sticker. I really love that. And looking back, it was not smart to put it in this resin layer, because it did move a little bit. Or maybe I need to babysit it more careful. So I'm trying to put it on there and try not to create bubbles underneath. And I wanted it to stay in place, so, but it was moving a little bit, and I regret that looking back. So maybe there's a better way to do that. Maybe let the resin dry first, then put it on top with a little bit of UV resin. I think that would have worked better. And I put 2 more dried flowers in there. There you go. And then I thought, well, maybe to keep it in place I will put a little bit of resin on top, but that did not work entirely. But I also see now that it's not centered anymore, so maybe it did work, but I just, it probably worked because it stayed like this, but it's just not centered and I didn't see it. Well, lesson learned. We will do better next time. And we're letting it dry now. And this is the next day. And what I'm going to do now is just put a little clear resin on top of both pieces. And I'm letting that dry until the next day again. Because my room is a little bit cold, I'm heating my resin up in that silicone cup, so to remove air bubbles. And it's easier stirring when it's not that thick, because the casting resin is a little bit thick resin. That's really great for working with it, because that's much easier than resin that's almost like water. And I put a little bit of clear resin in that tiny cup, as you can see. And why do I do that? I don't want to spill over the edges of my mold. So in this big heart I can put resin in there from my cup, but with that small letters it's hard for me not to pour over the edge, and I just put it in that little cup. Those little cups are from Let's Resin. And you see, it's much easier to pour that in without making a mess. And it's just a small layer on top. Now I'm using my silicone stirring stick to remove those air bubbles. I just go among the edges, so I know it's well divided, and I'm removing air bubbles that most of the time will settle themselves around the edge. And now I'm using a little bit of heat from my heat gun. You can do this, but do not stay in one place. Keep your heat gun moving, because if you stay too long in one place, your mold will melt with the resin and it will be stuck. But if you keep moving and don't use too much, don't be too long on your resin, it will be just fine. Okay, this is the next day. And the resin in the molds is cured, and now I'm using LED resin, UV resin, and we're going to make some very pretty dots on top of what we made yesterday and the day before. I'm just putting some UV resin in those little cups because it's easy mixing. And first I'm going to use a colorshift color of Candy Pigments. It's called Pagoda Temple, and it's such a beautiful color. It shifts from salmon pink to pink, and it's just gorgeous and sparkling. You don't need much, just a little bit. I think I used too much for this already. I think I could have gotten away with half of the amount. I will just show you. It's very hard to show color shift on camera, but I hope you can see it's going from gold to pink. Yeah, salmon pink. It's just a beautiful color. And I'm using the Eye Candy Pigment Paste Satori White. I'm not using this to make cells, but if you want to, you can make a seascape with Satori White, and it makes beautiful cells. Just so you know, and you just need so little. I'm just using a pinch on my stick, as you can see, and that's enough. And I'm not making my UV resin opaque. I want it to be a little bit transparent, and the reason for that is UV resin needs to cure under a UV lamp, and the light needs to penetrate or go through that resin to cure fully. So if I would make it opaque, it would not cure. So that's why I'm using I'm making it transparent. And now I'm going to make dots here and there on both molds. I'm carefully twisting my stick when I put some resin on there, because I don't want it to spill all over the place. So you see me getting some, twisting, and then go to my mold. Be careful, because a drop will fall off. And you will see with the finished result, this is giving so much sparkle and beauty to this little love word. I'm so happy that I did this. And maybe it's funny to know for you, I don't really have a plan before I start working. Of course, I have a little bit. I pick out colors or a color scheme, and that's it. But most of the time when I'm working on something, ideas will pop up in my mind, just like this little dot, and I just go with it and do it. And you know, sometimes you are thankful that you did this, and sometimes you think, maybe I better not done that. But that's okay, because you learn from it. And anyway, for me this is so much fun working on craft pieces like this. I really have the time of my life. And I hope maybe if some of you are not used to working with resin or never tried it, I think you really should. I do have to tell, always take your precautions, because resin is of course toxic, so you should always wear gloves and a mask to protect your lungs and to protect your skin. But that's really, I don't mind, and I just love working with it. So now we have the white and the color shift dots, and I thought, okay, I will put some on here also, but on this piece I'm only using the color shift color. And of course I have a little bit of UV resin of the white and the color shift over left. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I have some left. You can just store this into a jar where no UV light can come in. So it needs to be covered in stickers. It needs to be covered in stickers, or it must be a black jar. And in that way you can just save it and use it again for a later project. And I'm not going to put down lots of those bubbles, what do I call it, rounds. Just a couple to make it more playful, and it really looks beautiful when I'm getting this out of the mold. But I will show you a close-up in a minute. And I'm showing you the full process of both pieces, because I think it's important to see it all. As I told you before, the first part, it took me 50 minutes, and now we are 2 days ahead. And sometimes you see things like this on Instagram, and yeah, of course you see a video that takes about 20 seconds maybe, and you think, well, I will do that, and it's easy and it's done very quick, but it really is not. And I just want you to know that you don't think, yeah, these are just 5-minute crafts, because they are actually not. But I also like that about it, because I like working with something I do. I don't like it when I'm done in 5 minutes. So we're almost finished here. And now I will put it aside. I'm just trying to show you the color shift here again, because I just love this color. Eye Candy is really such good pigments. It's the highest quality that there is out there, and I'm so happy we have it in our online store now, and proud. Especially because they're also such nice people to work with. So I'm putting it 3 minutes under the UV light now to cure it, and look how beautiful. So after this we are going to top it off with a layer. I'm getting my resin again, 2 equal parts of the casting resin from Let's Resin. Put it in there, stir this up, and I'm going to make it black, ninja black. And looking back, I'm very sorry that I covered the tray with the perfume with the perfume bottle with black, because it really looked much nicer without the black. But the love word really came out very beautiful. So that little tray that you see, I'm going to make that again, then without a black background, because that perfume sticker just doesn't show that well against that black, and I'm really sorry about that because I really liked it. But the love word really looks great with black, and you can see the color shift reflecting very well, and the flowers pop a little bit more. So yeah, I think for the love words the black was a good choice, but with that tray next and a sticker like that perfume bottle, I will definitely use lighter colors next time. Maybe a transparent white or something like that. And well, we put the black resin down, and then I let it cure for another day. So we are going to the molding phase in a minute. But I'm also showing you how I put this in here, because I think it's important to show everything that we do and not just the beautiful parts. As you can see, there's air bubbles in there now. So I'm going around again and try to remove all the air bubbles. And I must say, I also do like the Ninja Black, because it doesn't look now because there's so much light on it, but it really is black. But it also has a little bit of shimmer, so yeah, I like that. If you don't want a shimmer in your black background, then you should use a pigment paste. But what can I say? I love shimmer. Okay. So now the air bubbles are out, and of course I babysit this every 20 minutes until I'm sure there are no air bubbles left in there. But let's go to the molding. And I am so excited to see what is on the other side, because it's always a surprise. Did it work? Are there no air bubbles underneath the items that I put in there? Is the background, like in this case the black, does it work? So yeah, of course I'm not working that long with resin, but I'm enjoying this so much. And now let's see, and wow, I can see already, look at those colors popping. And I was worried about a lot of things. Will the glitter show? Will the color shift show? Aren't my flowers covering everything? But no, this worked out so great, and I was so happy with this. So yeah, I really hope that at least one of you will try this sometime, because it looks great and people loved it. I mean, I had 4 people only the first day who wanted to buy it. So the first lady was fortunate, and she's very happy with it. It's in her home already. I just love it. I think it looks beautiful, and you can of course do all different kinds of background. You can do other color themes, or you know, put other things in there. It's so much fun. So now we will and there you can see the holographic glitter, that if you look at it one way it's pink, look at the other way it's green. Yeah, very fun. And now it looks gold, and now it looks red. It's really beautiful glitter, I must say. I have never worked with it, but I love it. And now we are going to unmold this one. And I was disappointed to see this one. It looks nice, but I'm really sorry that the sticker is just not showing. So next time I will use a light background. But you can also see that holographic glitter looking great. And you know, the bottle is showing, but I don't think it's as beautiful as when the black background was not there. So, or maybe I used the sticker upside down. I'm really not sure. I thought I had done it right, but yeah, I think it was a great idea to do something like this, but I just wish I didn't use the black background. But okay, it's a learning process for me also. And I am happy with both of them, of course. I'm using the one with the perfume bottle myself. I'm sorry for making so much mistakes talking. Most of you know that English is not my first language. I hope you forgive me. And here we go, the end result. Don't you just love this? And I have to say it again, working with the casting resin from Let's Resin is so easy. I really recommend this, especially if you are a beginner. It's really easy working with it. Oh, and also one secret, I always use release spray in my molds. That really helps it so that your mold doesn't get stuck on your resin. And okay, I hope you loved the video and I loved it just as much as I did. And I really hope to see you next time. And I want to thank you for watching. Bye bye.